Good day everyone. Our topic is all about public utility vehicles and traffic management and road safety and licensing and driving standards. Learning objectives. Identify types of public utility vehicles. Explain the importance of traffic management. Understand road safety rules and practices. Describe drivers' licensing process and standards. Recognize responsibilities of drivers and road users. Promote discipline and safety on the road. Public utility vehicles. Public utility vehicles are vehicles used to transport passengers or goods for the public in exchange for a per or fee. Example include jeepney buses, taxis, tricycles, and Uber Express vans that many people use every day. They play an important role in providing accessible and affordable transportation to the community. Because of PUVs, people can easily go to work, school, and other places, making daily life more convenient. In short, public utility vehicles help connect people and make transportation easier and more affordable for everyone. Here are some examples of public utility vehicles. First, we have the jeepney, which is the most common and iconic public transportation in the Philippines. It is affordable and can carry many passengers at once. Next is the bus, which is used for both short and long distance travel. Buses are bigger and provide a more comfortable ride for many commuters. We also have the tricycle, which is often used for short distances or routes that bigger vehicles cannot reach. It is very common in small towns and barangay. Another example is the taxi, which offers a faster and more private way to travel, especially within cities. Lastly, there's the van or UB Express, which is also used for public transportation and provides a more convenient and air-conditioned ride for passengers. Traffic management. Traffic management refers to the process of controlling and organizing the movement of vehicles and people on the road to ensure safety and efficiency. It involves activities like setting traffic rules, placing road signs and signals, assigning traffic enforcer, and managing road flow to prevent accident and traffic jams. The main goal of traffic management is to maintain order on the roads, reduce congestion, and provide safe and smooth travel for everyone. In short, traffic management helps make transportation safer, faster, and more organized for all road users. Road safety. Road safety means following rules and practices that help prevent accident and protect people on the road, including drivers, passengers, and pedestrians. It involves wearing seatbelts or helmets, following traffic signs and signals, avoiding overspeeding, and not using phone while driving. The goal of road safety is to reduce accidents, save lives, and make our roads safer for everyone. In short, road safety is everyone's responsibility, and by being careful and disciplined, we can all help prevent road accidents. Here are some important rules and practices that help keep everyone safe on the road. First, we must follow traffic sign and signal to maintain order and avoid accident. Second, always wear seatbelt and helmet for your own safety, especially for riders and drivers. Third, don't use phone or get distracted while driving because even a small distraction can cause big accident. Fourth, never drive under the influence of alcohol or drugs since it affects your focus and reaction time. Fifth, follow speed limit to make sure you can stop safely when needed. 6. Check your vehicle regularly like the brakes, tires, and light to avoid mechanical problem while driving. And lastly, use pedestrian lanes and crosswalk properly to stay safe when walking on the road. These simple rules are very important because they help prevent accidents, save lives, and make our roads safer for everyone.
Licensing. Licensing is the official permission given by the government that allows a person to legally drive a motor vehicle on public roads. It provides that the driver has passed the required tests and understands the traffic rules and road safety laws. Purpose of licensing. Number 1. To ensure that drivers are qualified and responsible. Licensing is aims to verify that individuals operating vehicle possess the skills, knowledge, and responsibility to do so safely. Number 2, to promote safety on the roads. By setting standards for drivers, licensing helps to reduce accident and promote safer safety conditions for all road users. Number three, to make sure drivers understand traffic laws and regulation. Licensing ensures that drivers are knowledge about and will adhere to the established rule of the road. Number four, to encourage discipline and accountability among motorists. The licensing system promotes responsible behavior and hold drivers accountable for their action while driving. Uh, Type of license. Number one, student permit. Student permit, this is for beginners who are learning to drive. It allows individuals to practice driving under the supervision of licensed driver. Number two, non-professional driver license. This license is for those who drive private vehicle and are not employed as professional drivers. Number three, professional driver license. This is required for individuals who operate public or commercial vehicles such as business, tax, and jeepneys. This license often required additional testing. Next, requirement to get driver license. Now, the one is must meet the age requirement. Applicant must meet the minimum age requirement, typically 17 years or old for a student permit. Pass the written exam. A written test is required to assess knowledge of traffic sign rules and law. Pass the practical driving test. Applicant must pass a practical driving test to demonstrate their driving skills. Medically fit to drive. Individuals must be medically fit to drive, ensuring they do not have any health condition that could impair their ability to drive safely. Submit valid and application form to the LTO. Valid IDs and completed application form must be important to submit to the relevant Land Transportation Office, LTO, or Department of Motor Vehicles. Important of licensing. Prevent unqualified drivers from using the road. Licensing ensures that only qualified individuals who have demonstrated the necessary skills and knowledge are allowed to drive on public roads. Reduce the risk of accident and violation. By setting standard for drivers, licensing helps to minimize the risk of accident and traffic violation. Help authorities identify and regulate drivers. Licensing enable authorities to identify and regulate drivers, making it easier to enforce traffic law and manage road safety. The last is promote
Driving standard. Driving standard refers to the set of rules, behaviors, and skills that every driver should follow to ensure safety, discipline, and order on the road. It defines how a responsible and competent driver should act while driving. Key points: follow traffic law and road signs. Maintain proper speed and distance. Avoid reckless or distract driving. Respect other drivers and pedestrians. Keep the vehicle in good condition. Importance of driving standard. Prevents accidents and road injuries. Promote disciplines and order. Protect lives and property. Build trust and cooperation among road users. Driving standards are important because they help maintain safety and order for everyone on the road. By following traffic law, keeping the right speed and distance, and avoiding reckless or distract driving, accidents and injuries can be prevented. Respecting other drivers and pedestrians, also promote harmony and cooperation. In addition, maintain the vehicle in good condition, ensures it warms safely and efficiently. In short, driving standard protect lives and property, promote discipline, and build trust among all road users.
Hello, good morning. This is Jeremy from Honda. So this is continuation on the topic from lesson 8 that was discussed by my classmates. So now we're gonna discuss or talk all about lesson number 9, which is all about operations and services, which is in will focus on logistic companies and freight services. So now let's proceed with the introduction. Logistic and freight services are essential backstage systems that keep hospitality business or industry running. They move food, linens, FF&E or furniture, fixtures, and equipment. Consumables and project materials, manage inventory, warehousing, and provide value, timely, cost efficient, and quality preserving delivery, especially for perishables via cold chain. Effective logistics including use of 3PL, so we're going to discuss that later on. Freight forwarders, transportation management system, and warehouse management system technology, and as well as the inventory control. This directly influence guest satisfactions, of course, operational cost, and competitive advantage in hotels and restaurants. So no worries, we're going to discuss this later on as we move forward on this topic. So now on this one, why this topic is connected to the micro perspective of tourism and hospitality on our subject. So the micro perspective of tourism and hospitality focuses on how individual business operate and deliver services to guests. Logistic and freight services directly support these operations by ensuring that hotels and restaurants are and resorts rather have the necessary supplies like food products, equipment, equipment to meet guest needs efficiently. Understanding logistics helps future hospitality as well professionals manage daily operations. We'll know all about those things moving forward. So let's start with this main topic. So we have 3 topics here. So this is the first one. We call it key concepts you need to know in hospitality logistics. So on this one, we have 3 parts in regards with the hospitality logistics, or let's call it logistics in short. So the number one is supply chain, logistic, and freight services. So now, what is supply chain, logistic, and freight services? The supply chain refers to the entire process of creating and delivering a product or service to customers. Logistics focuses on the efficient movement and storage of goods, while freight service involve the transportation companies or agents responsible for shipping materials. So let's think it this way. So let's think of the supply chain as the big picture. It covers everything from where materials come from to and how a product or service reaches the guest, while logistic, on the other hand, is one part of that system. It's all about how we move and store goods efficiently. Then we have also the freight services, which are the companies or carriers that actually transport or supplies like trucks, ships, or planes, delivering goods to hotels and restaurants. Now we also have this inbound, outbound, and reverse logistic. So inbound logistic manage the delivery of goods and materials coming into a business. Outbound logistics covers the distribution of finished products or services to customers, and logistics deals with return item or waste management. So let's break this down instead. So inbound logistics is when we receive goods, like fresh produce arriving at a restaurant or linens being delivered to a hotel, while the outbound logistics happens when we send something out, for example, delivering meals for catering events or sending promotional materials. Reverse, reverse logistic, on the other hand, is when products are returned or recycled, such as returning damaged goods or disposing expired stock properly. All right, now moving forward, let's discuss this 3PL, 4PL, freight forwarders, and carriers. So these are the types of outsourced logistic providers that helps hospitality business or industry manage shipping, warehousing, and distribution more efficiently, especially as the business grows. So um, 3PL is in short as third party logistic, or short 3PL. Then fourth party logistic, 4PL, freight forwarders and carriers. Sometimes hotels and restaurants don't handle logistic on their own. They have partnered with outside experts, and those are the 3PL, 4PL, freight forwarders, and carriers. So these partnerships helps hospitality business save time, cut cost, and focus on serving guests. So what is 3PL, or third party logistic? 3PL is a company that manages logistic tasks like shipping, warehousing, and delivery for another business. In hospitality industry, hotels and restaurants use 3PL providers to handle their supplies and delivers efficiently. They save times, reduce cost, ensure smooth operations, allowing staff to focus on guest service instead of logistics. While on the other hand, what is 4PL? 4PL is a company that manages the entire logistic process for a business, including overseeing other logistic providers like 3PLs. So in simpler terms, um, while 3PL handles the actual shipping and storage, the 4PL acts as a logistic manager or coordinator, make sure everything from suppliers to deliveries runs smoothly. In short, a 4PL goes beyond handling logistics, so they do extra mile beyond. It manages design the entire supply chain so hospitality businesses can focus on service quality and guest satisfaction. So now moving forward, what is freight forwarders? So freight forwarders are companies or agents that organize and coordinate the shipment of goods from one place to another, often across the country. So you'll notice this one actually. For example, of an example rather of this one is those container trucks that we see a lot um, on the in a port, like in Manila port, something like that, Batangas port. Yun yung madalas nating nakikita na freight forwarder. So hindi natin alam na freight forwarders pala ang tawag dun sa mga yon. So sila yung nag-deliver ng mga goods, supplies, materials needed in hotels and restaurants. So what is carriers? Carriers are the companies or individuals who physically transport goods from one location to another. They own and operate the vehicles such as trucks, ships, airplanes, or trains that move the products. So the carriers is most likely the same as the freight forwarders. So this one, the difference rather. So in other words, while freight forwarders arrange the shipment, carriers are the one who actually move it. So freight forwarders are the actual companies, while carriers is the actual vehicle that delivers the product. Now let's proceed on number 4, which is the cold chain and perishable management. So again, what is the cold chain and perishable management? So this system is vital for food and beverages operations. They are the one that ensures that the temperature sensitive items are stored and transported under controlled conditions to maintain freshness and safety. Most of the items that they deliver are like, for example, meat imported from other country, what else, like tuna, something like that, and some other rare ingredients, or I would say, yeah, rare ingredients, like example natin is mga gulay na galing sa ibang bansa na hindi natin na nakukuha lang basta-basta dito sa public market, mga ganong lugar. Okay, now let's proceed with FFE and OS&E logistic. So FFE, as I mentioned a while ago, is furniture, fixtures, and equipment, while OS and OSE are operating supplies and equipment. So these logistics involve the organized transport, delivery, and installation of essential hotel or resort items, particularly during openings or renovations, often requiring careful or white glove handling. So FFE is like self-explanatory actually. So as the name suggests, furniture and fixtures and equipment. So what are those? That can include everything from bed, lamps, and chairs to towels, plates, and uniforms, etc. Anything that is used in hotels and resorts or in hospitality industry. Now let's proceed with the typical logistic operations in hospitality. So we have 5 as well. We have procurement and order management. Number 2 is receiving and quality inspection. And number 3, inventory and warehousing. Number 4 is project freight management. And last is the last mile and white gloves delivery. So this is most likely self-explanatory as well. So this stage is the starting point of logistic operations in the hospitality industry. It focuses on how hotels, resorts, and restaurants acquire the goods and materials they need to serve guests and keep daily operations running smoothly. So procurement is the process of identifying, selecting, and purchasing everything a hospitality business needs. So yeah, just like this example, food and beverages, housekeeping supplies, furniture and equipments, and office and guest items as well. That's included. So let's move on number 2, which is the receiving and quality inspection. So receiving and quality inspection. So after placing an order with the supplier, the next important step is receiving and inspecting of the deliveries. So this process ensures that the items that hotels and restaurants receive are exactly what they ordered, in the right quantity, good condition, and of course safe for use. So missed one and they're gonna lose the business. That's pretty sure. So what are the example that on for the receiving and quality inspection? So to say for example, the logistic deliver meat, seafood, and dairy, or dairy, or something that they need to prepare a dish, say for example. So this process, receiving quality inspection, are just like a backbone in this process, because this is play a significant role in the hospitality industry. So they have or the business have to check when they receive the item, they have to make to ensure that the goods or the items that was delivered is in a good condition, and of course safe for use, especially for the guests. Okay, now let's move on number 3, which is the inventory and warehousing. So this one plays a crucial role as well. So without this, if you don't, a business always have this actually. If you don't have a inventory or warehousing, or let's say inventory, to your small business, if you lose track on how much you spend, how much you um, spend to the items that needed for your business, you might end up getting bankrupt. So once all supplies and materials have been received and checked for quality, the next step in hospitality logistics is inventory and warehousing. So this stage focuses on how hotels, resorts, and restaurants are or organize and monitor their goods so that everything is available when needed without wasting space or resources. So now let's proceed on number 4, which is the project freight management. So this is a special part of hospitality logistics that deals with large scale or one-time projects like hotel openings, renovation, or refurbishment. Unlike regular delivery, this type of logistic handles big, bulky, and high value items that are essential for setting up or upgrading a property. So now we have the last one, what we call last mile and white glove delivery. So this is the last step in hospitality logistic is last mile and white glove delivery. This stage where goods are transported from the warehouse or local hub directly to the hotel, resort, or restaurant. Even though this may sound like a small part of the journey, it's actually one of the most critical stages because it directly affects guest experience and operational readiness. So last mile delivery refers to the final leg of the logistic process, the movement of goods from the nearest distribution point to the end destination. So while the white glove delivery is a premium service where goods are not only delivered but also carefully handled, unpacked, assembled, and installed by trained professionals. So though they are like a small factors on this hospitality industry, in terms of logistic, they play a crucial role. This last part. Okay, now we'll proceed on the freight service types relevance to hospitality. So this one we only have 4, and actually the number 4 is has been discussed on this part, which is the what we called last mile and white glove delivery and the freight services a while ago. So now let's wrap this up. So we have less than truckload and full truckload. We have refrigerated or river freight, air freight, and express. So don't be confused. This is freight. This is kind of different from the logistic. So freight services or freight service type relevant to hospitality are different methods of transporting goods from suppliers to hospitality establishments such as hotel, resorts, something hotel, resorts, and restaurants. So let's further discuss the number 1 items. So the LTL or less than truckload. So these two types refers to how much space your shipment takes up in a delivery truck. So in hospitality context, um, LTL for regular, smaller or restocks like weekly supply deliveries. FTL is for bulk shipments such as during hotel openings, renovation, or seasonal inventory changes. And just to add up, FTL can be used as well if there are like an event to in the hotel, something like that. Now we proceed on number 2, which is the refrigerated or reefer freight. So this one plays a crucial role in terms of freight services. Of course, you have to how do you call this? Ingatan ang service nito eh. In terms on freight services. So river trucks or containers are equipped with cooling systems that keep products at a specific temperature throughout the journey. This ensures that sensitive items like food and beverages and let's say flowers stay fresh, safe, and high quality from the supplier to the hotel and restaurants. Of course, this company don't want to mess up with their supplier or with the delivery kung saan man nila i-deliver yung item. So now okay, that most likely it. Okay, now let's proceed with the last one, the air freight and express delivery. Air freight is the transportation of goods by airplane, used when shipment needs to arrive quickly and safely over long distances. So in the hospitality industry, this service is ideal for urgent or high value or time sensitive items. So let's say for example, a hotel that suddenly runs out of imported wine before an event, they can request delivery through air freight services or express delivery. So let's say for example, 1 week before the event, so they can place an order rather, and then have it delivered before the actual event. So the keyword on this one is it is transported quickly and safely over long distances. So most of the how do you call this, transportation they use is through airlines. Oh, not actually airlines. Air cargo actually. Okay, so the project freight and white glove delivery, the last item we have here. This one are specialized freight services used in the hospitality industry for large scale, high value or delicate shipments, such as during hotel openings, renovation, and refurbishment. Okay, so in conclusion, with all those topics, those three major topics, so in hospitality management, understanding logistics is essential for creating smooth and efficient operation that support excellent guest experience. The key concept is such as a supply chain, logistic, and freight service provide foundations for managing how goods move from suppliers to hotels, restaurants, and resort. The typical logistic operations including procurement, receiving, inventory management, and project freight handling ensured that every product and material arrives on time and in good condition and ready for use. So meanwhile, the freight services types like LTL, FTL, refrigerated, air, and white glove delivery, this offers reliable ways to transport a different kind of goods from perishable to luxury furniture. Altogether, these elements highlight how effective logistics supports the overall success of hospitality business by ensuring quality, efficiency, and guest satisfaction. And that would be all.